I was totally break down. Everything I worked over the 2 decades was all gone. I I was from an outstanding employee to a criminal overnight. The day before, my supervisor was having the annual review with performance review with me, and gave me very high performance rating for the contribution I made for the agency. But I was arrested the very next day. I couldn't eat, couldn't drink, and I didn't want to see anyone. I even didn't go to grocery shopping for over a month. I knew I didn't do anything I was alleged for, but I have to get a legal assistant to have my lawyer to represent me for the case. But I didn't have any savings for legal fees because I never thought this would happen to me. And my family had to scramble to borrow money for my legal fees. Thank you for my great lawyer, Peter Zeidenberg. He works so hard on behalf of me, and have my case eventually dropped. People told me, many people told me you should file a lawsuit. But I told my lawyer, I don't want to countersuit anyone. I just want to put the nightmare behind me. Even it has ruined my life, my reputation, my career, and my family's life. I know the deep financial and psychological impact will be with me for a long period of time. However, I just wanted to put the trauma behind me. I told my lawyer that we are all human beings, we all make mistakes. Government did the right thing, dropped all the charges. I want to move on and just put everything behind me. I was looking forward to get my job back that I like to do, I enjoy to do, and I'm very good at it. Also, I can back to my normal life. I have been waiting patiently for almost 6 months for National Weather Service, NOAA, of Department of Commerce, to allow me to go back to work. I was shocked when I received a letter from DOC over the Labor Day weekend to notify me I will be removed from my job and from the federal service. With all the ridiculous accusations, I could not believe, with all the facts and the evidence indicates the contrary, they still haven't gave up on me. I don't know why they are still doing this to me, why they are still targeting me. They are going to take my job away, and the model that I have worked over 7 years with my knowledge and with my heart. I have no choice but to get legal representation to respond to the trauma once again, to save my life and get justice to the, so that other people who have a similar background like me would not go through the same tragic again. I need your support morally, legally, and financially. I was burdened with my loss of income and have to defend my previous case, and now I'm facing another case. It is way beyond my financial ability. I have received a strong support from the internet, online, and in the real life. I really, really appreciate it. Now the holiday season is fast approaching again. I hope with your help, this year, I could look at the Christmas lights with joy, not tears. Thank you.
What Sherry described sounds so true. I wish you good luck. So we just got out of that kind of life 4 days ago, 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. And since then, we have gone through this process of being under the indictment to the situation that we are free from criminal. Well, I hope we are finally free from criminal prosecution. There are still charges ordered to be signed. And Sherry's been out of that for 6 months. And it's not going away yet. And we are prepared that it probably won't go away for us completely anytime soon too. And this is the human cost of this indictment, that charges could be withdrawn, but it will never go away. And people would say that something must be wrong, right? Like in the Chinese saying, if you see waves, there must be wind. So this is the damage to our professional reputation and the psychological damage or even physical damage to our family. There's just no description of that would do justice. And definitely as somebody who had experienced this kind of things, I really express my sympathy to Sherry, and also hope that we will not see these kind of things happening on other people. So as I said, it is a big change from a completely free man to being indicted. The life, as we've heard from Sherry. It's equally, as Peter put it, disorienting to go from under the threat of persecution to possibly out of it. So what I'm trying to say is, I probably am not in the situation to put everything properly or the best way. So I would refer you to the statement that I have released on Saturday. And I hope there are still some copies there that you can take if you have not seen it already, that summarize my thoughts at this moment. So, of course, the foremost, I am gratified and relieved that our legal system has done its work. I saw some translation which says, I thank the prosecution. That's the wrong translation. Right? So I am very relieved and gratified that the legal system has done its work. And that's what Peter has helped me do. And so eventually the truth will come out, and we are very happy that we are able to persuade the government that the charge should be dismissed. And so in my statement, and I talked about the fact that this is a nightmare that we have been living through. And you've heard Sherry talk about it. Many things that you have mentioned are exactly what happened to us. And so we have suffered, let's say, professionally. I was not able to do my job that the American taxpayer entrusts me to do, right? Doing research, great research. And mentally, psychologically, even physically, and financially. And it's just the suffering is comprehensive, and nobody would understand it until you are under indictment. And so, as I mentioned there, I don't think my wife has had a single night of good sleep. And my daughters, they're all traumatized by the experience. And could not go on with their planned activities like what they have planned it for. But I think I talked to somebody that we had all the plan. The day before that, like, was all normal, and we had a plan, and now completely the world changed. And also for my students, they're all very much affected by this. And people are telling them your advisor is a criminal. And it's like their degree will be in jeopardy. So very often I felt very bad that all my family, my friends, my students have these sufferings because of me. And in particular, of course, and I know that I didn't do anything wrong. And I mentioned in my statement that I was planning to go back to see my mother, 90th birthday, and I had to cancel that. So the human suffering brought by this indictment is huge. So now I hope I'm finally out of this. And I'm very, very grateful to Peter as my lead counsel in this process. However great the legal system is, if I don't have a good legal representation, there's no guarantee we will get the right outcome. So this is my third trip here. I can remember my first trip. That's really a consequential trip that I made here. My second trip, of course, we spent the whole day talking about science. And that was a tough day. Yeah. And this is a much more joyous occasion. And I want to thank Peter and the firm, and also my other lawyers, the local counsel, Mike Schwartz, an extremely talented lawyer who helped a lot. And the other lawyer, Tony Shaw from this firm, the IP lawyer, also played a very, very critical role for my defense. So I'm very grateful to my legal team. And not only these lawyers who have helped me, and my friends Tim Xia and Yi Tai, who are attorneys, and gave me a lot of valuable advices that led me to go the correct path in this process. And I cannot thank enough the expert witnesses. I have their name in my statement: Paul Chu, David Lavalastier, John Rao, Ward Ruby, and Venki Venkatesan. And Ward is one of the inventors of the technology at issue. And the other gentlemen are all the most prominent scientists in the area that is relevant to this case. And I'm very grateful that they help us to persuade the government that the devices that I was supposed to have shared was not of the subject of my collaboration with Chinese colleagues. And so, as Sherry mentioned, that this brings a lot of financial burdens on anybody who is involved in this. We're all not so rich that we have the money prepared for this kind of legal defense. And I'm very helpful that Charles Clark and Rongjia Tao agreed to be the trustees and of my legal defense fund. And also another attorney from the firm, Christian McBurney, guided us in setting up the fund. So I'm very grateful to them. And I want to mention here that I express my gratitude to Temple University. Temple University has treated me very fairly, and they are very supportive. And they told people, my dean told everyone that I am presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. And they have treated me in the true spirit of that. And I want to thank them for this. And I want to thank people in my group, students, postdoc. They were obviously traumatized by the event, but then they let me know that they are going to work very hard, because I ask my students to work hard normally, and now they say we will work hard and create results just as an expression of their support to me. And I was really moved by them. And I did receive messages from friends and colleagues expressing their support of me, saying things that the person in the indictment is not the person I know. And so I am very appreciative of their support. And of course, there are many people who help us with the suggestions of lawyers and all kinds of support. Like, do you need some food? That we will be happy to bring food, and things of that nature. And of course, I think they are very well aware that their communication to me probably will be monitored. And I am really appreciative of these friends. But as I said in my statements, I also want to thank many, many people I don't know who didn't send me anything, or maybe I don't even know these people, who have prayed for me. And I want to thank all of these friends. I can call them friends, I hope. But most of all, I think I have to thank my family. When I was brought out of the door, I turned to look at my wife and my daughters, not knowing what's going to happen. And my wife has been very strong, holding the daughters, and watch me leave in handcuffs, of course. She's back over there. So what they experienced, I said in my statement, is unthinkable. But they remain strong. Crumbling is a real possibility, but they didn't. And gave me support all through these times. So I think I have to say that crumbling, collapsing under such pressure is also a possibility for me. But with the support from the friends and colleagues, in particular my family, I was able to go through this process. And I want to thank them. It's something that I will not forget for all my life. So, as I said in my statement, I'm innocent. I maintain my innocence from day one. Because what I did is really, literally not different from what many of my colleagues are doing, pursuing academic collaborations with colleagues in China. And once I sent Peter a list of people that I collaborate with, long list. Most of them are not Chinese. Italy, Great Britain, Germany, and Argentina, and so on and so forth. And there are several people are in China. And everything what I did, what I have done, are totally routine, typical, common, whatever you call it, academic collaborations. So I think I said that at the right time. I hope I get the right time, right opportunity to tell my side of the story. And the overwhelming support that I have seen since last Friday moves me tremendously. In particular, a lot of people, many people wrote to me, say that I'm sorry on behalf of my government. And that's really very moving to me. And so obviously it will take some time for us to let the event sink in, and we try to get some kind of a normal life. But we know full well that is not going to be easy. Nevertheless, I do hope that sometimes I will be able to tell the story. And because, as I said, even though the indictment is dismissed, I guess we're still hanging there, and people may think that they must have done something wrong. So what is the impact on my professional life? Only time can tell. So I would tell my story, and hopefully that could help to clear my name and repair my reputation. And one thing that I wrote there is that I want to do my part. I want to do my part with my experience to make sure that no American citizen, whether you were born in the US, in Italy, in China, in Japan, regardless of where he or she was born, should not have to go through the process, the ordeal that I have been through. And that's something that I'm determined to do my part. And again, finally, I want to thank Peter, thank other members of my legal team, and also thank the support that many of you have conveyed to me. Of course, that's from your readers and audiences. And we'll take it one day at a time and see where it goes. Thank you.
Well, next we'll have Dr. Jeremy Wu, a distinguished member of Committee of 100, who has spent some sleepless nights with me on these issues. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you, Haipei. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Wu, and I'm representing the Committee of 100 today. The Committee of 100 was created 26 years ago. It has a dual mission. It promotes the well-being of Chinese Americans. It also promotes the constructive relationship between the U.S. and China. With me here today is also Henry Tang, who is here in the front row. He's the co-founder and the governor of the Committee of 100. He was also an active leader in a special case 16 years ago in the person of Dr. Wen-Ho Lee. And some of you, maybe many of you, may remember that case. And I think all of us in the committee remember the vows and pledges 16 years ago. Something like this that happened to him should never, ever happen again to another American citizen. Unfortunately, we're here today again. We have prepared copies of a joint letter that's signed by the Committee of 100, as well as 6 other community organizations. And we made a few copies, and it looks like this, and it will be distributed soon. We have a few copies. And I think representatives of some of those partner organizations are also here. We also made a prepared statement for today's conference, and it's a one-pager, one in English, and the other one is in Chinese. And that will also be distributed at a later time here. So my role here is really to give you some summary, briefly, and I'll be focusing on 5 main points. Number 1, pattern and trend. As Congressman Ted Lieu has eloquently pointed out, if it was just one case, it could be a mistake, could be an accident, but within the last 10 months, we had 3 cases and 4 individuals who were arrested and indicted for very serious charges of espionage and spying for China. If convicted, they could be locked up for 80 years. Definitely the rest of their lives. And yet in each of these 3 cases, with the 4 individuals, 2 of them are here today, all the charges were subsequently dropped. These should be extremely rare cases. Sometimes it can happen, 1 maybe, but in 10 months, 3 cases and 4 individuals went through this experience. It's a trend. It's a pattern. So we fully agree with Congressman Ted Lieu. Something is not right. Point number 2, consequences and damages. These prosecutions have serious consequences and damages at 3 different levels. At the individual level, you have heard some of the testimonies from Sherry and Dr. Shi today. It damages the hard-earned finances, physical shapes, career, and the reputation, and their family structure, and their psychology of the individuals involved. At the Asian American community level, it adds to the mistaken, invidious, false perception about the loyalty of Asian Americans here in the United States. At the national level, we undermine civil liberties, of which our nation values very deeply. As Professor Shi has said very eloquently, and I agree, and all of us agree with him totally, this is not a joke. This is not a game. Point number 3 we would like to make is that this is not something new. We are in a rule-based nation. There are laws, there are guidelines, there are rules. And in particular, former Attorney General Eric Holder issued a very comprehensive guideline in December 2014 against profiling by race, by ethnicity, by national origin, and civil rights factors. These guidelines and the laws and the regulations governing them must be observed and it must be practiced. Point number 4, we're here to call for the current Attorney General for action. We call upon Attorney General Lynch to take serious action and provide thoughtful supervision to U.S. prosecutors. We seek assurances that federal prosecutors make cognizance of the need to refrain from rushing to judgment. What you have heard today, what you have heard 16 years ago in Dr. Wen-Ho Lee's case, they're all related to rushing to judgment due to race, due to national origin, and due to ethnicity. So do not misread innocent conduct. Do not make impulsive decisions. Do not destroy the lives of innocent Americans. Point number 4, there is the committee, point number 5, I should say, there is the Committee of 100. As I mentioned before, it has existed for 26 years. The painful experience in our existence have taught us that when we see injustice, we, the Committee of 100, must speak out, as long as other members of our community. We spoke out in the Wen-Ho Lee case from many different perspectives, inside and outside of the government. We are at the same time providing voluntary training to the Chinese American community, to the Asian American community, across the nation. For example, we'll be hosting a seminar tomorrow next to Capitol Hill. There's a seminar by the name of Trade Secrets and Economic Espionage, the legal risks in advancing technology between the United States and China. This is an ongoing exchange. It's going to help the whole world, not just the two nations, and yet there are serious risks. It's going to be held tomorrow. There's a program description on your chairs, and if you don't have one, please, we have 2 staff members here to assist you. The seminar will be led by a fellow member, a renowned lawyer, Brian Sun, who was also the attorney for Dr. Wen-Ho Lee 16 years ago. We also have Henry Tang here. As I mentioned, for many years, he was very active and also heavily involved in the Wen-Ho Lee case. We're glad that Professor Xi, Sherry Chen, and their attorney, Mr. Zeidenberg, will be also joining us in this seminar in a panel discussion. So all of you are invited. The event is open to the public as well as the media. Our acting executive director, Holly Chang, here in the front, as well as program coordinator Jennifer Welch, here will be assisting you in any way we can with the information and also participation in tomorrow's seminar. With this, I'd like to thank Aaron Fox for hosting this event. I would also like to thank Haipei for organizing this conference here. And thank you very much for your time as well as your attention. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess I just want to say that maybe when I'm down in a minute or two, we'll have a group photo if you don't mind, and maybe your family is here. Sherry, your husband is here? Okay. So we're going to have a pose group pictures, photos for this occasion. I wanted to say that something I just received this morning from Woman Judy Chu's office with the official title of KPAC. Now, KPAC, if you don't know, it's a Congressional Asian American Caucus. It's a powerful group with about 40 members, and it's still growing very fast. Usually I know that when it comes to the conclusion and issue such a paper, usually it takes weeks, if not months. But this time it took them 1 day to come up with this statement. So that says something about how serious this is and how our member of Congress will react to that. Now, we choose the title today, the Caught in the Middle, or Caught in the Crossfires between the competitive relationship between U.S. and China. But I want to remind everybody here, we are not foreigners. We are the citizens of this great country, the land of the free and the land of the rule of law. So just to say that, oh, we government, we don't do race profiling or profiling of origin of a country, it is not enough. That is not enough. Our community still carries a deep scar from the past abuses and discriminations, from the notorious Chinese Exclusion Act to Japanese internment, to Wen-Ho Lee, and to frequent but sometimes maybe ignorant stereotyping and discrimination in popular culture. And now you have this double twin cases. That's my phrase, twin cases. So I think DOJ and FBI need to do something about it. I think our government need to have a serious review and investigation of it, as many members have called for. And if enough members in the coming days and weeks will show enough concerns, there could even be congressional hearing and congressional investigations. But I do see there are some good models for DOJ or FBI to follow. Just talk to our communities, right? And not just look at us with suspicious eyes. Now, if all of you remember that after 9/11, our FBI and DOJ, and I have to give credit to our president in those days, they did a great job communicating with the Arab American and Muslim American communities in this country, which strengthen trust, expand cooperation, and benefit the real serious investigation, and perhaps reduce the caseload too. I don't see anything of this nature happening in this country now regarding the Chinese American communities. You cannot increase your scrutiny and your investigation of this community without equally increasing your communications and outreach and understanding of this community. It almost reminds me of a troubled marriage that the couple resorted to not talking to each other as a way to solve their problem. Well, so most people who are married here, who knows that that's not going to work. It might as a short-term solution, but it could blow up in your face and further estrange your relationship and even destroy that savable and salvageable relationship. So hereby, I come to the end of this by calling, this is our organization, 全国华人美国华人全国委员会 and UCC, we are calling the following message to the public, to our government, and to the Chinese and Asian American communities. That is, number one, we call for DOJ and the FBI to have a real dialogue and cooperation with our communities. We have many wonderful people and many wonderful organizations. We have, such as OCA, such as Committee 100, CACA, NCCA, UCC, AAAJ, and NAPABA. All these are here, and our leaders are here. Many of them are here represented by a lot of people here today. So we call for that. Just talk to us. I think that's the essence. And second, we will support any congressional efforts, either by KPAC or Congress Liu and Congress Grace Meng. And they are all talking and discussing about what's the next best foot forward. First, to help Sherry to get back her job, and then to put this behind us so that any American citizen should go through this. Now, number three, we're going to call also for the Secretary of Commerce to reverse the erroneous mistake that they have made and they are making, and apologize to Sherry Chen. I want to personally appeal to the Secretary of Commerce before it is too late, that we still have time. Don't make the same mistake again. Just bring back Sherry to where she really belongs. And the last but not least, of course, we have today the formal announcement of setup of 2 legal defense funds. A legal defense fund for Professor Xi and her family, and another one for Sherry Chen. Now we have some information back there on the table. I hope you can grab it. I hope there will be no more legal trouble for Professor Xi. I just hope so. But for Sherry, unfortunately, she still have to fight for another day to have a real Christmas this time. And so this is the moment, I think, when our community really need to stand up and stand together. Last, I want to end this session by thanking many people who helped for this. Mostly, I want to thank for Professor Xi and his family, and the whole family here, and Sherry and her husband, who drove 8 hours from Ohio to this town. I want to thank our own organization's interns, executives, staffers for 2 sleepless nights following the Friday breaking out of this event. And last, of course, we have to thank Aaron Fox again. And where's that amazing Kathleen? She made this happen there. Thank you, Kathleen. Really appreciate it. And again, I also want to say one more time, thank for Aaron Fox, the help 25 years ago that got many of us here in a very safe and legal environment. For those of you who want to stay on, you can join our reception. I forgot one thing that really, I always say this, I want to thank for all the press people. You know, when we are all done, they have our champagnes, have to go back and work hard on this. I've been part of that. I know that, Rob. So great. Thank you very much for coming this afternoon. Oh, yeah. And we can have a little bit of time to open up for a few questions and hope for, there are a lot of sheets, there are information on the table. Just ask some very relevant questions, short, and we'll open up that for a few ones. Thank you. Yeah, please. Can you identify yourself? Yes.
Professional life, and does this going through all these things make you doubt what you believe in American dream? And for Peter, I have a question. To your legal advice, do you suggest them to pursue furthermore justice or any sort of repairment of what they suffer or the damage of their?
Okay, let me just summarize quickly. The question for Sherry and Professor Xi, right, is whether what has happened to you will somehow make you feel whether the American dream is still there or this country has treated you fairly, right? And also for Peter, the defense lawyer, the question is whether there's any other thing or further legal action is there on the horizon. Thank you. Yeah, you can press on that. Can you hear it? Oh.
As I said, I had, came here over 20 years, and I worked so hard, and I already made a big progress for our, National Weather Service river forecasting. So it's really directly related to people's lives and, to protect their properties. And so my, our agency, in my, what I do, is I developed accumulated water in the big rivers across 8 states. Is so important. I mean, to all our communities, and I want to optimistic. I still, that's why the reason I want to go back and still go back to work. So I know there are so many agencies that are waiting for me to improve my model and work with them. I already know there are new satellites that are going to fly in a couple of years, and they want me use my model to basically do the scientific research to see how it compare to ground truth. And that's USGS. They is a really NASA program, and they is a cooperate with universities and several government agencies. They are so excited and was trying to work with for me. And I think they said using your model, we are going to test if the data we get from satellite will be match what happened in the real world. And for the core engineer, U.S. Army core engineer, they are going to use my model to do the water management, daily operation. This is really, really important. I mean, to just for the flood and control, and also people the daily life like drinking water and water intake. Also for National Weather Service, there's so many. I thought is a great mission, and as I said, I still believe the system. I still want to do that, and I hope and they are going to learn some lessons from this. But for me, I want to just move on, just pass this, and I hope they listen to me and they know what I do, and they know I did very good job to help the agency to prove the the efficiency and the capability. So I hope that they at the end everything turn out good, and I hope it's not just for me and for all the Asian American and all other people, wherever they're originally from.
Okay. She wants to say a few words.
Yeah, I want to answer your question by saying that when we became American citizen, and I'm sure that it's true also for many people who come from other countries and eventually become American citizens. It was not a simple, a casual decision. And when we made that decision, we made the commitment to this country that we believe in the ideals of the country, and we are determined to abide by the law. Of course, whether you are a citizen or not, you are supposed to follow the law of the land. But as I said, it's not a casual decision. It's a serious decision, and so I think the fact that we had these community organizations getting together, voicing their concern to the members of the Congress, and ask the Department of Justice or Commerce to look at certain issues carefully. That itself is the demonstrations of the democratic process in this country. And so we went through this process, and in Cherry's case, there are still rounds to be drafted, and the feeling of Cherry. And things like this happens in every country. And what we should learn in this process is that we should all get fully involved in the democratic process short, I do not think that would shake our belief in the ideals of the country, and rather it just push us to get more involved and get our voice heard.
Peter, you want to say a few words?
We don't have any decisions to be made at this time about any other legal actions.
Guohua.
Since we are Chinese press, I would like to have Cherry and Mr. Xi to answer actually a very similar question, but in Chinese. 也就是说，我想问一下，你们觉得你们遭遇的这个冤假错案，它关键的原因是什么
Can you do that in English? Guohua, can you do that in English? So we have a lot of press who doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? What do the two of you think is the real root of the kind of wrong that has been that has subjected both of you to? What's the root? Is it your Chinese race, China connection, and what kind of advice do you have, both for people like you, people of Chinese origin doing science work in this country, and your advice to those who actually investigated your case? People from DOJ, people from the FBI, whom I still believe were doing their job. Please respond in Chinese. And for Peter, what do you think? If you could do it in Chinese.
Do I have to respond?
Yeah, he's going to take some Chinese classes after this. Yeah,
Yeah, what do you think is the key factor
we got that.
that helped you win your case?
Yeah, again, with the most, I just want to remind you that if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to answer that, but if you do, keep it short. Yeah.
You want me to say in Chinese?
Yes, of course.
Okay. 我认为啊，美国的这个司法系统还是比较健全的。但是到个别的人来执行起来呢，可能有偏差有出入哈。另外再有加上这个 background， 所以我确实不能代表他们怎么想的，就是说他们为什么要这么做，这由他们来回答。但是我认为呢，这个系统应该有某些地方是可以 improve， 就是可以改进。就像中国一样啊，据我所知道，好像中国那司法系统也在不断的完善，所以大家都在不断的就是完善自己的司法系统。我希望这方面呢能走得更好。我有一个就是建议吧，我想如果别的任何中国人哈，还是不管是亚洲人，不管是任何人，如果他们再遇到法律问题，像我这样的时候啊，应该立刻就是找一个 lawyer， 就是找一个律师来代表你，他呢能直接和那个司法系统来交流，然后就好多这个问题啊就能在不要让它变成就是到最后已经你有这个就是他已经做出最后的决定了，比如说要给你准备要等那个 indictment 应该是怎么说呀？就是中国的起诉说哈，不要到那一步，应该及早的请你的 lawyer 那个 counsel 来代表你。我觉得这样应该及早的就把这个问题都不要他让他到我当时没有我没有这么做，所以这也是我想明天可能要想谈一谈的。
I just help her translate very quickly that what Sherry said is that this country's legal system is basically relatively or kind of all right, sound, fine, but there are some rooms to be improved. And her advice to anybody in a similar situations in the future is that go to find a lawyer as soon as you can. Maybe to Aaron Fox, and that's it. And then she feel like she didn't do the exact same thing as she's advising others. So that's maybe the same message she's going to carry over to tomorrow's seminar. Why you have to go back to your heartbroken place?
就刚才我解释的，你们可能不太清楚，就是我这个模型啊，我开发的，我那个知识就是我的心血，我已经有7、8年了吧，我开发了一个大模型，非常大，而且就是很多大学、地方政府、州政府，还有那个联邦政府的机构吧，都在用我这模型，非常就是我觉得那个我不愿意把我这个所做的那个工作吧抛弃了。然后呢，另外我觉得它确实能给这个国家带来很大的效益，所以这就是最主要的原因。
But basically, she said that that's the only place that she know that she's been working in the last 8 years, develop her model, which is very beneficial to the society, public safety, and to the country. So why not?
Sherry 说的很好，我好像 Sherry 说的这个回答的都很全面，我好像没有什么可以再加的。我同意 Sherry 说的。
Nothing much to add. I agree with what Sherry said.
好像在4天之内还没有能够把感想给总结起来，时间再长一点吧。
It takes a little bit longer to go through all the feelings and sort it out. Yeah. 不会，这个我们没办法，时间太紧了。Yeah. You anything to say here? Okay. 2 more questions. Okay, 2 more. Okay, here's one. Yeah, you. Yeah.
We have a job action that we have to respond to. Ms. Chen received a notification over the weekend, last weekend, Labor Day weekend. Yes. Say that they were seeking to terminate her. So we have to fashion a response to that.
About collaborations with colleagues in China. The collaboration with people all over the world in the area of science and technology, including with China, is what the U.S. government is encouraging, including all the funding agencies like National Science Foundation and Department of Energy and other funding agencies. The reason is simple. Science is an enterprise of the people all over the world. And in particular, in China and countries like Singapore and India, the investment in science research, scientific research has been increasing rapidly. And in China in particular, there are groups which have become leading in the country, in the world, in science, scientific research. So that's really the reason why the U.S. government is to collaborate with scientists in China in actually all areas. Well, okay, of course, not in the restricted area, right? But in terms of basic research, it's beneficial for both countries. So I see no reason that I would not pursue opportunities if they are. And it's competitive, right? It's not like I want to collaborate with them; they would want to do that. So it's it's a beneficial to both sides. So I would pursue that if there are opportunities.
Quickly.
I think before the indictment, I didn't know, I didn't think about to summarize what I did and how I was doing. But once I saw actually, the discoveries is what they put together, they took all my record over the 20 years since I started working and came to the United States. And I look back from the comments under my performance review. Even I couldn't believe it. Over 20 years, all positive. Even as what the FBI said, there are really no negative or really mentioned improvement. So I have been consistently, over the 2 decades, received very high performance review from all the agencies I work for and all the supervisors I work for. My colleagues really, they are very, I like to work with them, and I heard recently lots of people are telling me we really want to help you to come back, and even just a couple of days ago, my colleague told me that again. And also I heard they mentioned Sherry Chen is all the standing employee, just like from different levels, or the department and NOAA and the National Weather Service. I heard people telling me at the conference they are all together. They heard lots of people are doing that. So I feel very good. That's one of the reasons I really want to work there.
Okay, last question. This gentleman from here.
Well, I don't really have a question. Just want to say a few words. As a Chinese American here, I do feel strongly about these two cases and what you two have been through. And we are here to support. And please be strong and work with the system to protect your constitutional rights. And also personally, I went to the same school, Tsinghua University.
Wow.
That's what Sherry did in Beijing. And my wife was a Beijing University alumni.
Whoa.
The same school Professor Xi went to. So on behalf of my family, we're going to contribute to your defense fund. Good luck.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope that's the voice from our community. Yeah. Let's take a group photo and let's proceed to the reception there.
How many here are from Beida and Tsinghua? Anyone else? Beida and Tsinghua? There must be some. Okay. Sherry, where's your husband? Professor Xi, where's your wife and daughter? Can you stand them up? Jenny? I thought your daughter. Hi. Jenny? Here you are. Joy. maybe come over here.我需要伸的是吧？我们伸的 have squeeze a little bit together, closer. Maybe you should have a big. What's the big sign? It's a little bit flashy. Can we do this? Can we do this? Yeah, let's do this. How about let's do this? That's fine. Yeah. Let's do this. All right.
I recommend one thing. Everybody look at one center point so that your eyes are on the same.
Look over there, center point. Okay, one last time. Look at the center point. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have some drink. Have some. You have to say that. Okay.
在我们来说，有这个可以行动的这个。
刚才我还说少，还有这封信是我们这个 Congressman OK。在这个安排出来以后，这个是5月份。
去年第9年，今年是刚好有一个10年，我们想做一个 anniversary 在 Capitol Hill 啊，然后这是 Matt Salmon， 您应该听过吧？就是把姚明带过来，他是这个 board member 然后想见你。华人其实需要一个很好的 foundation， 不仅仅是我觉得在美国，对，更需要的这个全球啊，相应给留一张名片，对，张丁场是这样啊。我到时候给您再留一张吧。您现在是 base DC 哈？
我在 McLean，
我在Virginia 里面。好的。行，我到时候给你发邮件，对吧？一起操作。
你组织在哪？
其实在那个以前是在111 Verizon Building， 然后现在是那个在那个 M Street， 然后17街，但是 working office 现在是在那个 Maryborough 那边。
好，那么我们保持联系，
肯定会。今年刚好是10年嘛，我们想做个 Capitol Hill
大家交流，
对这个活动很好了，给中国就是华人也好，或者有一个 foundation， 方方面面的你们做的比较早。
这个背景不是最好
啊。那这个问题的话呢，
问题的
啊，您现在好。
从2007年到今年7月份，司法部公开的资料显示有大概是90个案子，关于中美间谍这一方面的事情。那么这个只是上法庭的案件 ，FBI 里面的案件，据我们了解，大概是100多个，这个关于间谍的这方面的。当然很多呢，一方面这个华人在美国的人口，基本上是1%多一点，所以这个数目是一个，在一个民主国家，你这个数目比较低的话，就这个很难得到这个注意。可是当年那个李文和的事情案件，那个时候这个人口更少，可是还是有一定的影响。所以这个主要就是光是一个华人的问题，是整个美国的问题，这个注意力就比较大。所以我们现在推动就不光是这个华人社会的问题，希望可以推广到美国社会其他的方方面面，对这个方面这个问题多了解，那么可以多一点这个行动。
咱们这个百人会，然后明天办的活动，还有咱们有没有什么后续的活动来继续支持这些被冤案的这些科学家们？
我们3月份的时候在华为办了一次，所以这个过去3年4年，这个是重要的，了解这方面会产生会广告，在一方面，所以这个
它身上的